Hey, what's up? So, um, I've had some comments back and forth with unpopular thoughts. I thought about my conversation with Conquering Thought, and then I started thinking about. Um, it seemed like a homeless guy we was passing on while we was leaving a restaurant yesterday. I thought about that. I thought about this guy who's walking up and down the street wearing this neon vest, this construction vest, I guess. He's asking for food and stuff. And I also thought about the people that are in their homes and they're not really staying afloat. They're in the red line, but they know how to keep that red light and not dark. They're just slightly underwater. Their nose is above the surface, but you got to time it just right so you don't inhale too much water and drown. I thought about that. And in thinking about those things, I also thought about politicians and where we are. Thought about these politicians running. And then it dawned on me a few critical things that get ignored. And I don't know what to do about it. Maybe you all can help me, because I think it's possible to get better, but we can't get better if we don't acknowledge how we are ailing. When we can blame the politicians, it is. We can blame corporations and their money. It's just. We can blame our judiciary system that allows this stuff to take place. That's just. We can blame the Senate and the House. I admit, and that's going to turn some people off, it's hard for me to understand the difference. And I'm going to tell you why. We got three main branches of government, and yet people keep mentioning the House and Senate as if it's so separate, it's not part of it. If one is not part of the three main branches, then in my mind, get it out. It's that simple. If there's three people in your home, it's you, your mate or friend, and your kid or whomever else. Is three people, but then for some reason there's four people there all the time. Somebody's got to go. And that's when you use the Bucho effect. If you see someone you haven't seen before, it must be him. It's that simple. So I thought about all these things, man. I was just thinking and thinking. And I'm like, we're in it. We're in it. Right now, we're in it. We are in the very moments when we politically screw ourselves. We've been in it, but this is a crux. This is a big moment right here, right now. And I want you to just listen to this, okay? Right now, we are in that moment of, what are we doing wrong? What do you think we're all doing wrong right now? This is just my assumption, my opinion, but I think there's a lot of weight to it. And it's not just because I'm over 300 pounds either. There's a lot of weight to it because what we are in, we are sitting here at our desks, in our chairs. We're sitting somewhere. It could be a park bench. It could be at the kitchen table. It could be in your car on the way to work. It could be anywhere. You could be going to lunch and getting ready to get off work. But we're waiting. We're sitting and waiting for these politicians to pop up and run for office. Now, see, just think about that. Who's going to be next? Who's going to put their hat in? We want to know. The people want to know who's next and then who's going to win. But they're only waiting for name recognition. They're waiting for those that they already like. They're waiting for those that's endorsed by those that they like, if the one they like isn't running. They are waiting for who's going to help us stay as jacked up as we've been. Think about how scary that is. Don't you want to be able to not? Who wants to really pay their bills? Really? Do you really want to? Do you wake up and say, I can't wait to pay my bills? This will be a great day when I can give my money away to people that don't really need it. I mean, come on now. Think about that. You know, who wants to do that? Who wakes up? I pay my taxes and I'm proud. They get to take money from me and give it to billionaires because I am a patriot. That's an idiot. That's an idiot. I pay my taxes. I have these rights. No, you should have these rights just because you're alive. Legitimately, you are. Don't you find yourself a bit important? Don't you care about your life? Don't you care about those that you have to support? But instead, we're waiting. Instead of, do you want Ocasio to run? Do you want Warren to really come out and run? Do you want Hillary to run because yay? Do you want Bernie to run because, well, we messed up the first time and he's really progressive? What do you want and why do you want it? But we're in it. Right now, we're sitting here waiting to see who's going to lead us. What about, seriously, what about, think about it, think about, in tandem, why not the person that might be sitting next to you? Why not the person that's roaming around your house doing stuff? Why not you? Why not? Why not that person bagging groceries? Why not that cashier? Why not that school teacher? Why does it have to be so unpopular? Why does it have to be somebody with a lot of money? And you say, well, it has to be someone with a lot of money. Why? Because if you have a lot of money, you get a lot of airtime. You get a lot of airtime, then you get the recognition and then all this. No. I think that's where we've messed up. That's where we've messed up. I only recently learned that Richard Ojeda dropped out. That's because he didn't have the media coverage and whatnot, and his message really wasn't going to spread. Ojeda is someone that is needed. The Young Turks could have spread him, but they didn't. If the Young Turks really pushed for Richard Ojeda, that would have been at least 3 million people. If Kyle Kalinske pushed for Richard Ojeda, that would have been another roughly 3 million. I know there's some that's mixed with TYT and whatnot. It might have been an extra million. It might have been an extra maybe 250,000. You know, if David Pakman, did it, there would have been an extra 100 or 200,000. See, if social media pushed these people, then these people get what they need. But see, it's all about the money. That segues into the other reason why I think we're messed up and we can't get better. Because we are taught two things when we are born, and it sucks. They both suck. We're taught religion and we're taught money. That's it. You have to believe. Therefore, if you can't get what you need, you pray. Prayer don't get anything. It never has. It never will. I can pray for 3 days, it's going to rain, and then when it rains, I can't say my prayer was answered. That's just intellectually dishonest. I can't pray that I have a moment where I don't have a flare-up, and then I don't have a flare-up and say my prayer was answered. That's just stupid. I'm serious. And then we say we want what? Politicians that aren't on the take. Politicians that aren't bought. Don't we? We want someone that's going to fight for the people. But what do? We raise and teach and rear, and whatever term you want to use, but we indoctrinate our kids into thinking and believing and desiring that money is all. And That's the life that we've been forced into. We have. We didn't ask for this type of life. Capitalism is just an abuse of trade. That's all it is. We have the ability to change it though. See, we teach our kids money, money. How much money did you make? Then they get older, and what happens? They hear music when it's all about the money. They hear about the money and all. That's all it is, money. And then they say, "I wish I had all the money. I wish I had all the money. I wish I had $1 billion. I wish I had it all. Man, I got $100. I'm gonna be rich." That's all we get. That's all we teach. And when these kids grow up into citizens, and I'm talking about the citizens that should be a little productive, I don't know why we teach that. I think that's dumb too. But they have to go out there and get a job. And no matter what job it is, if it doesn't pay the bills and have a lot left over, then it's like, well, that's not a good enough job. Your job sucks. Why don't you get a better job? That's what we teach. Why don't you work harder? Work harder. Work harder. Work harder. You're tired? You know what? Others were tired. Then we do comparative woes. We kill empathy. We kill sympathy. And these people grow up and they become the politicians. And all they do is what they have been taught since birth. Get the money. Get the power. If you getting that money, it ain't enough. Think about how much somebody else is getting for doing the same thing. Get that money. So while we suffer and suffer, we keep wanting a champion that's going to take us away from the suffering in a system that we keep abiding by and enforcing. How does that make sense? It's as if you got a cut and you scratch it because it itch and it's bleeding. And you're saying that I need help. I can't take it. It hurts. Stop scratching it. Wrap it up. Change the bandage. Maybe need stitches. Who knows? You don't listen and you scratch deeper. It's bleeding more. You're scared you're going to bleed out because it just don't stop. And then you beg for help. You tell them to help. You tell them this. It needs to be sealed up. It needs treatment. I need a doctor. And the only doctor you can go to is the one that you've only taught how to scratch an arm and open up a wound. We got to stop this. And I know it's hard. I know it's almost a vertical hill battle. And the solution is mostly mental, if anything. And it's difficult. I know I can do it. And I'm going to do it. Don't be greedy. I plan to do a Patreon. If you want to be a part of it, I deeply appreciate it. I'm really having to learn how to set it up and stuff. I don't really know what to do. I'm working on it today. But you know what? I'm not going to charge $2 and $5 and $10 and $20 and $30. I'm just making it as low as I can, whatever they allow. And then if you want to be a part, you be a part. It's just what I'm going to do. If I don't get anybody, I don't get anybody. And I understand that. I get that. But I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, I know I can charge this much. I just have to offer them something roughly of that much. Or talk about you having access to certain things. Therefore, you'll pay for that access. That's taking advantage of you. That's me not appreciating what I've done so far. That's me dishonoring myself. See, all of you that's listening to me are doing it because you wish to, you want to. You must like what I say or like what I'm doing, something. And then for me to say, I want to make as much profit off of that as possible, that spits in the face of that. All I've had is this computer, this broken down microphone, and working like that. It spits in the face of that, saying, this channel stays up because of your support. No, I made this channel without any support. I'm not going to sit here and charge you for it. Not like that. As low as it can and move on. And most likely, if I use the money, you know what it would be for? Either literally paying the bills so that we don't get kicked out of a house, or we could, or keep the water on, or I'm going to try to buy some better equipment so I don't have to sit here and talk with a microphone draped around my neck, hanging down my clavicle. Yeah, that's what I do. You know, that's it. I would do that stuff. And if I found some way to probably somehow care to profit off of this, and it would, you know what, it would just be because of subscriber count, not because I would raise the prices. That's just what I would do. But we got to stop. And see, what I would do with Patreon, that's what we need in a politician. That's what we need. Honestly, we need a statesman, a statesperson. We don't need a politician. You know, that's what we need. We need someone that's going to go in there and say, I'm not here to reach across the aisle. We need someone that's going to go in there and say, I'm not here to make friends with you. I'm here to do the bidding of the people. They need health care. And you're going to talk about the Affordable Care Act and talk about protecting it and a public option. They're living in the Obama days, which was nothing more than the Mitt Romney plan. And they're going to live in it, and they're going to use it because they know the people are still stuck on it. Because people don't want to go forward. Forward thinkers are the bane of the idiot's society. And I would love to remain a bane. I would love it. Because if I'm not thinking, then I ain't doing. And if I ain't doing, I damn sure must not be caring. And I care. You listen to me. You listen to others. Support them. Challenge them. Challenge yourself. Because a thoughtless mind is a mind that ain't working. Don't smooth your brain and die. Keep the wrinkles there. Keep it. The more wrinkles, the more intelligent. Keep those neurons and synapses firing. That's what you do. You hear something you don't like, think about it. Don't shake your head. Because we got to do more than wait for a politician to pop up and say, I'm going to champion you by talking about the old stuff that no one needs. That's only going to hurt. As some would call the cliches and platitudes. That's what Kyle Kalinske would call it, which is true. It's factual. They are cliches and platitudes. We need someone that's going to do more than talk about the middle class. While the middle class is an important part of society, they are not all of society. And if they're only going to champion the middle class, they damn sure are not going to help the lower class. We need somebody that's going to get in the office and not worry about the money and worry about making little friends. You get in there, you do your job, go home. You don't take a break. You don't get a vacation of a month. Why? Because we don't get that. We're lucky to get a vacation of 4 days. Most don't even get a vacation, don't even know what a vacation is. I sure as hell didn't. The first time I was offered a vacation at a job, I was like, you ain't got any other way to fire me than this? I shit you not, that's where I was. I was like, this is a real jacked up way to fire somebody. And dude was like, what? No, you don't come in Monday. You stay out until you come in the next Monday. So if I come in, it ain't going to be some guards at the door or nothing like that. Like, no. And it's like, have you ever had a vacation before? And I was like, no. I literally thought that's what rich people and middle class people got. I thought they got vacations, not people that's making at the time $8.50 an hour. So we need us to change us to get a better us. That is important. We don't teach about money. We just teach money as a tool to pay the bills. We teach that to be something of a bane. Let's demonize bills. Let's demonize taxes. Let's demonize all of that stuff. Money's needed to get the food. It's needed to get the groceries and what? Yes. But when money is all that's important, then people can't be important. People ain't nothing but a cash cow for your pockets, and that's it. We need better than that. We need us to be better. I'm hoping that y'all hear me. I know this is long, but I was just sitting here wondering what to say, how to say it. And I was like, you know what? Just speak off the cuff and go at it again, because we need a better society. And we need to teach our children. We need to teach not just our children, more importantly than teaching our children, we need to teach our adults. We need to teach our equal-aged peers. We need to teach our young adults. Because if we're going to just talk about the futures for the children, then we've guaranteed that we don't have our own future. And to be honest with you, I'm going to have a future. At the end of the day, no matter what, I've learned something important. And that is, I'm worthwhile. And I think you're all worthwhile too. This is Cedric Kennedy for Comparative Reasoning. Thank you for listening.